So hey guys, welcome to the second part of this Flutter McDonald's app concept UI series. So guys, in the last video what we did was we created this food item model. So today what we are going to do is we are actually going to create our cart model. So I'm inside my models folder and I'll create another new file which should be the cart .dart. And inside this cart.dart file, first of all we need to import the food item model. So package food, okay, so package mcd UI models, and then the food item .dart. So now we will create our cart provider. So class cart provider, okay. So inside this class, first of all what we need to do is we actually need to create a list method which would be used to add food items to our cart, and also to remove the food items from our cart. So first of all I'll create a list. So list, okay, so list, it would be a food item for a single food item. So it would have a list of food items which would be called as food items, not food item. So it would be an empty list at the beginning. So the beginning the cart would be empty, and then we will create the list method for adding food item to our list. So list food item, and then we'll call it add to list, okay. So and after that we will give a food item. It would take a parameter of food item, so food item. And inside this list method what we need to do is we need to give a boolean value. So bool, let's say bool is present, so to know if the food item is already present in our cart or not. So we are using a boolean value. So first of all let's set it to false, because at first no food item is present in our cart. And now we'll see if by chance there is a food item present in our cart. So let's give a conditional. So food items, so food items is actually the list. So food items dot length, so the length of the list is greater than 0. Then what are we going to do is we are going to apply a loop. So we are going to implement a loop, a for loop. So what this for loop is going to do is it is going to loop through each and every single food item which is present in the list, and it is going to say if a food item of a particular ID is present in that list, then it is going to set the boolean value, that is the is present value, to true, because that food item is present in the list. So first of all let's create a loop. So I'll create the iterator. So if a integer I is set to 0, then I is less than food items dot length. So for I less than food items dot length, we also need to increment the I, so I plus plus. And then inside this we need another conditional. So this conditional will be used for, let's say, suppose the food items and we need to include the iterator dot id is equal to food item dot id. So what this means is that if the food item which is present in this list, the food items list, so if there is any food item present in this list, so it would actually match the id, and if the id matches, then what it is going to do, it is going to set the value of this boolean to true. So is present, that is the food item is present, so is present is set to true. So if the food item is present, then we can increase or decrease the value of this that food item depending on, if there is only one food item, then we can just remove it, or we can add some more food item of the same type. So the quantity is going to change. So the quantity is going to go from 1 to 2 to 3. It depends on how many food item we want to include. So now the food item which is present in the list is set to true. Okay, so now we'll apply a break statement. So break, and then we need to include a else. So else, suppose the food item is let's say is not present in the list, there is no food item of that particular ID in the list, then the is present value is will remain as false because there is no food item in the list. So that's the basic logic. And then we'll need to create the method for removing food item from the list. So let me just copy this up and I'll paste it here. So this one would be a remove from list. So remove from list. Okay, so after that it is also going to have this loop, or let's say, actually let's not give the loop out here because we do not actually need these boolean values, because we already know that these items are present. So I'll just change this method a bit. So I'll just remove this part, and also if a food item will give a new conditional if food item dot quantity. So we'll check the quantity. If the quantity is greater than 1, then what we need to do is we need to decrease the quantity of that food item. So decrease. So we have not created this method, so let's not use it now. So else if there is the food item dot quantity is equal to 1, so if there is only one food item of that particular ID, so we can directly remove it. Okay, so if there are no particular food item more than 1, so it is just going to remove it. So let's create the methods first. So void first of all we'll create the increase item quantity method. So increase item quantity. Okay, so it is going to take a parameter of food item. So food item, and then what it is going to do is that it is going to set the increase the value of food item. So food item dot increment quantity. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this up, and I'm just going to paste it right here. Okay, so now this one would be a decrease. So decrease item quantity. So decrease item quantity, and it would be a decrement. So let's put it here, decrement. Okay, so as you guys can see, we now have this method and we can apply it to the places we actually need it. So first of all, up here, if there is the food item of that particular ID, then what we want to do is we want to increment the quantity of that ID. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include this increment quantity method up here. So increase item quantity, and it is the food item which we want to increase. So if there is the same ID of that food item, then it is going to increase the item quantity, and it is not going to add the item because the item is already present in our cart. So so now if we want to add the item, so actually let's create a conditional up here. So right here, so if by chance the item is not present in the cart, we want to add it, not increase the quantity, because it is already not in our cart. So what we're going to do is we will create another if statement. So it would be if it is not present. So if the item is not present, then we're going to add it. So food items dot add. Okay, so it is going to add the particular food item if it is not present. So food item is not present, then it is going to add. Else if the food item is present, it is still going to add it, so it doesn't matter. So it would be just same. So I'll just copy it up and I'll just paste it here, and then we need to return the food item. So right here we go. Okay, so yes, return food items. So that's it. And after that, I think we have one extra bracket. So yes, this bracket would be up here. So let's paste it here, and boom. So so what else do we need? Actually this bracket, the last bracket, would be up here because we are using it in this part. So I guess there is some error regarding this brackets part, so I don't think there is any error. There is supposed to be any error. So that's it. And now moving back to our remove from list method. So here you guys can see we need so if the food quantity is greater than 1, then we can decrease the quantity. So I'll just copy this up. So I'll just copy this method and I'll just paste it right here. And of course we do not need this food item. Okay, so yes, so I think we are getting some error out here. So decrease item before it is declared. So there is a spelling mistake. Okay, so there is a spelling mistake up here too. So I'm still getting the error. Okay, so let's see where is the error coming from. Okay, so there is some error related to the bracket. So oh, I think we need to add another bracket, so let's fix it. So yes, and now it's fixed. So we just forgot to add a bracket. So that's some small mistakes which you can make, and especially while you are recording. So all this background noises and also this frequency of mistakes, typing errors increases. So I don't know why. So this one would be else if this there is the food item quantity is equal to 1. So then the food item would be removed, just removed. So if there is only one food item of the particular ID, then we can just remove it instead of decreasing the quantity, because there is only one. So we'll just remove it. Okay, so remove food okay, item, food items. Oh, it is food items because we want to remove it from the list. So this is a list method. Anyway, so now we have to return it. So return food items. Okay, so I think we are getting an extra bracket up here. So where is this bracket coming from? Okay, so this bracket is coming from here. So if there is no error, then that's good. So let me see if I've done something wrong in the code up here, because we are getting an extra bracket which we should not get, and this is going to create problems in the later part of this video or this series. So let me just fix it up. Actually, I think we need okay, so I'll just remove one bracket if I can. So what if I remove it? So I get this error and set it here. So now I think it's okay. So actually I'll just cut this bracket and I'll just put it up here. So that's it, we have fixed it. So here I am still getting errors. So it's actually very frustrating to find these errors right here. So okay, and this one is ending out here. So so I think I spotted the error, because this else is related to this if, not this if. So I'll just give a bracket up here, because this might cause an error. So I'll just give this. So guys, we have fixed the bracket error. So this bracket error was actually happening because we are actually not working with this if. The else is not working with this if, because this if is just getting if the food item is not present, then it is going to add it, and this if is actually assuming that the food item of that particular ID is present, and if it is not present, it is just adjusting the boolean values. And if there are any other conditions, then we are using this else statement. So if that food item of that particular ID is not present, then we are going to still we are going to add it. So that's it guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and do like and share this video if you found it helpful, and do subscribe to my channel to get notified for latest upcoming videos. And regarding the blocks part, I'll make it in the next part of this series. So that will be the third part. So I am actually not doing the block part in this video, because this will make the video a bit longer. So that might be a little bit boring. So I hope you guys will like this series, and also do follow each and every part, so that you guys can make the most out of this series. And till then, so I'll see you guys at the next part. Keep watching.